Never thought this would happen to me. My girlfriend Clara, the woman I planned to spend my life with, cheated, and the person she cheated with, my best friend Mark. To make matters worse, when I found out, my own sister, Lisa, she called me dramatic and told me to just get over it. My whole world crumbled in an instant. The three people I trusted most had betrayed me, leaving me completely alone. I was heartbroken, angry, and felt a profound sense of loss. It was like I was adrift in a storm with no land in sight. The discovery was brutal. I came home early from a business trip, planning to surprise Clara. I had a ring in my pocket. I walked in and heard noises from our bedroom. My heart sank, and there they were, Clara and Mark. The shock was so immense, I couldn't even speak. I just dropped the flowers I was holding and backed out of the room. They isa me. The look on their faces wasn't guilt. It was annoyance, like I had interrupted something important. I walked out, got in my car, and just drove, with no destination in mind. The man I called my brother and the woman I loved. It was a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. When I finally managed to call my sister, Lisa, her reaction was the final nail in the coffin. I was sobbing, barely able to get the words out, and she sighed. "Are you sure you're not overreacting? Maybe you've been neglecting her. Mark's always been there for her." She told me to be the bigger person and forgive them. Forgive them. My own sister was defending them. That's when the grief turned into something else. It was a cold, hard resolve. They had shattered my life, and now they were trying to gaslight me into believing it was my fault. I realized then that I couldn't let them get away with it. They deserved to feel a fraction of the pain they had inflicted on me. My plan for revenge wasn't about shouting or physical confrontation. It was about precision. I knew their weaknesses, their ambitions, their secrets. I decided to dismantle their lives just as they had dismantled mine, piece by piece, using the truth as my weapon. Mark was a rising star at his company, always bragging about the big project he was leading. A trusted meso, he'd often shared confidential details, even some of the corners he was cutting to meet deadlines. He thought he was being smart, but he was just being reckless. He had no idea the information he so freely gave me would become his downfall. As for Clara, her entire social life revolved around her image. She curated a perfect life on social media, portraying herself as this loyal, kind-hearted person. She loved the validation, the likes, the adoring comments. She had built a fortress of lies, and I knew exactly how to tear it down. And Lisa my sister. Her betrayal cut the deepest. She valued her social standing and her close-knit group of elite friends more than anything. She had always looked down on me a little, and now she was siding with the people who destroyed me to maintain her social comfort. Her punishment would be social exile. I started with Mark. I gathered all the information he'd given me about his project, the fudged safety reports, the cheap materials he substituted, the client complaints he'd buried. I compiled it all into a neat, anonymous email. I didn't add any personal commentary. The facts spoke for themselves. I sent it to the board of directors and the primary client for his project. I hit send and felt a grim satisfaction. It was just a matter of time. Within a week, the news broke. An internal investigation was launched. Mark was suspended, then fired. His reputation was in tatters. The rising star had crashed and burned. He tried calling me, sending frantic texts, but I ignored them all. He was on his own. Next was Clara. I took all the screenshots of her messages to Mark, the ones where she belittled me and planned their secret meetings. I also had photos from that day, the ones from their social media where they pretended to be just friends. I created a simple, public blog post titled, "The Truth About Clara." I laid out the entire story, complete with the evidence. I didn't use angry language. I just presented the facts calmly. Then, I shared the link with a few of our closest online followers and in a few local community groups where she was active. The fire spread faster than I could have imagined. Her comment section, once filled with praise, was now a flood of disgust and disappointment. Her perfect image was shattered overnight. She lost followers, friends, and the social validation she craved so desperately. Finally, It was Lisa's turn. This one was the hardest, but also the most necessary. My sister loved to host lavish parties for her influential friends. Her annual garden party was her biggest event of the year. 2 days before the party, I reached out to her closest friend, someone I knew had a strong moral compass. I told her everything, showing her the text from Lisa where she dismissed my pain and defended Clara and Mark. I didn't ask her to do anything, just to know the truth about the kind of person my sister was. Her friend was horrified. As Primera expected, she couldn't keep it to herself. The news spread through their social circle like a virus. On the day of the party, I drove by Lisa's house. The usually bustling street was quiet. Only a handful of cars were there. Later, I heard from a cousin that almost no one showed up. The friends she valued so much had abandoned her, unwilling to associate with someone who would betray their own family so callously. Lisa Cayette lay finally in tears, not of remorse, but of anger. She screamed at me for ruining her life. I just said, "You chose your side, Lisa. Now you get to live with it," and hung up. The silence on the other end of the line was deafening. In the weeks that followed, I watched from a distance as their lives unraveled. Mark couldn't find another job in his field. Clara deleted all her social media and became a recluse. Lisa lost her so-called friends and was forced to confront the ugliness of her own choices. They had tried to break me, but in the end, they only broke themselves. I didn't feel joy. Exactly. It was more like a sense of justice, a heavy peace. I had lost a girlfriend, a best friend, and a sister, but I had found myself again. I had taken control of my own story. The revenge was complete, but my journey was just beginning. I focused on rebuilding. I sold the house I shared with Clara, getting rid of the last physical reminder of that life. I reconnected with old friends, real ones who rallied around me with genuine support. I poured my energy into my work and my hobbies. I started hiking, something I always wanted to do. Standing on top of a mountain, looking out at the world, I felt a sense of freedom I hadn't felt in years. The pain was still there, a scar that would never fully fade, but it no longer defined me. It was a reminder of what I had survived. I learned a powerful lesson through all of this. Sometimes, the people you love the most can hurt you the deepest, but you have the strength to survive it. You have the power to take back your narrative and build a new life from the ashes. My revenge wasn't just about punishing them. It was about reclaiming my own power and refusing to be a victim. It was the first step toward a better, more authentic future, one where I am surrounded by people who truly value and respect me. And that is a victory worth more than anything. Thanks for listening to my story. If you've ever been through something similar, know that you're not alone, and you will get through it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories.